Okay, I'm just gonna let this flow. Um, I I have I have been really struck by the untimely death of Taylor Hawkins, of the drummer from the Foo Fighters, and I don't know why it has struck me so hard. I kind of do, but my former band, Stone Fox, well, my sister Georgie, who is the lead singer of Stone Fox, her second band, Butcher Holler, um, which also included the one of the Stone Fox guitarists, besides myself, Yvette Douglas, the other Stone Fox guitarist, Kim Pryor, was also in Butcher Holler. So they had opened up for the Foo Fighters at Slim's, the club in San Francisco, and I was at that show, and I met Taylor Hawkins and Dave Grohl, and they're both, much like their reputation, true to their reputation, they're both great guys, awesome guys. And Taylor, I remember his infectious grin, his just wonderful energy and presence. And so it's interesting because I was also watching a lot of Foo Fighters stuff in the last month, like on YouTube, a lot of like their live stuff and like interviews with Taylor and Dave Grohl, being interviewed. And obviously they were so close. They were definitely like, they were brothers, not biological, but definitely soul brothers, So I just felt like really, I don't know, just also like he's close to my age, and then just having been in a band, and also he has 3 kids. There's just like there were things that just came up, that for me that were something about it, I've had my dance with substance abuse challenges in the past with alcohol, a little bit with some other substances, but not. I've always had like a sensitive system, actually, so I haven't really. I felt like alcohol being, I don't know, just like, anyway, I won't go too much into that, but there were just things that, about Taylor Hawkins' death that there's some sort of resonation there, and I really feel for, my heart goes out to his wife, his kids, Dave Grohl, the whole band, Pat Smear. I don't know all their names, but and all of his close friends and all the fans, all the Foo Fighter fans. It's just, he had a big community of friends and family that just loved him. So my heart goes out to everyone that is being affected by this. I got to do some chanting for he and his family and friends this morning, and that felt really good. Just felt good to be able to do something, So the other thing that I wanted to come on here and do we're already 5 minutes in, but that's okay. I wanted to do I felt this have have a talk with Taylor, communicate, communicate with him and see what comes through, because I definitely have these abilities, the clairvoyant abilities. I did train for it for 2 years. I went to a school called Psychic Horizons in San Francisco. I did a 2-year program. But, and that was in 2003 that I graduated from that. I've done professional readings, energy readings and healings. I've, on humans, on a house once, and on animals, on a cat, and a couple of cats actually. I haven't done an energy reading and healing on a dog, but I would love to. And I love doing animal communication. But anyway, I wanted, I felt inspired to talk to him and see what he would like to say, or what, message, or what wants to come through his communication, Taylor. So we'll see. I have this dark background or whatever's going on because it's just nighttime and I just have this little light on and it just feels nice. But it reminds me a bit of the Superman movie. What is it? The council or the judgment, like Marlon Brando and his white hair or something. Not that I have that, but it's just like the dark background and just the head right now. I'm wearing the biggest black turtleneck. That's all. Just kidding. Okay, so I meditated before I got on here. I set up my energy space. Got grounded. Did all the things. So I'm going to see about closing my eyes and see if that's how it wants to come in. I could also just receive the information coming through my crown chakra. Everyone has a crown chakra. Everyone has these abilities. It's not difficult. It's quite natural. Okay. I'm just waiting. I'm saying Taylor's name, Taylor Hawkins, inside. Taylor Hawkins, Taylor Hawkins, Taylor Hawkins. I said it physically. What would you like to say? What is your message? He is starting to say something about, in both worlds, like the physical living world and beyond this world, the non-physical, that both are just as exhilarating. And that they are just different. He can now see, from being on the other side, he can see now, and know now how exhilarating it is to be in the physical, but also to be in the all that is, and be in the non-physical as well. That it is, yeah, just that they're both exhilarating. They're both valid. And they're just different. Even though he's saying, even though he did take care of his body in some ways, like physically started doing better things for his body, he has some regrets about not caring for his body in such a way as treating it like the jewel that it is. That's how he's describing it. I like that. I don't know if that's a little bit of me also, but he's saying, no, it isn't. But you're a good match as a transducer for this information. I know, if I'm not mistaken, I believe, yeah, he's a Pisces. Also, he was a Pisces. They're also very attuned, very psychic, and very attuned to the all that is. And actually, they can be prone to drug use. My North Node is in Pisces, so you have, I'll just talk about this a little bit. You have the ability to be in a total state of bliss and feel one with everything. That is like your archetypal potentiality as a Pisces. But you also, the shadow side, you also have the ability to easily slip into substance abuse. You know, more like the illusion stuff, where it's a temporary thing. A temporary high versus like something that you cultivate in a more masterful way, you could say, or in a more like sustainable way, such as with meditation or some other practices, you know. So yeah, music, poetry comes naturally, you know, like Kurt Cobain was a Pisces too. George Harrison was a Pisces, just to give some other examples of that archetype. Albert Einstein was a Pisces. So anyway, back to what he was saying about treating his body as like a jewel, a precious gem or jewel. But he also, it's like he does have that regret, and at the same time he has no regrets. Like he lived out his timeline, his like soul's blueprint exactly how he wanted to. But because of that, the result of that though, like where his life was cut short, like the thing about his heart was really, I didn't read the whole article, but there's something about his heart being enlarged or something like that, like enlarged in a way of like more like, I don't know, I don't want to say what it is, but I do sense that. I definitely feel like the toll that the drugs and drinking had taken over time on his body. He says he's saying that like it's such a big part of that scene and the lifestyle that it's easy to get caught up into because it's everywhere. And so he wished that actually though that there were other ways that he could have tapped into those states without needing all those things, and he did often. He often did, but he didn't trust himself to be able to be in those states without these substances. A lot of artists, I want to say as a side note, a lot of artists, they get afraid that without their depression, without their sort of like that, all that stuff or substances or this or that they're not going to have access or something to their creativity, that like their creativity is tied into it. And so I kind of understand, I do understand what artists, creatives, especially with like around music, musicians, songwriters, etc. I mean, I think I can relate to that because I am a musician, but I've written music like in a band, like writing music for it, but not lyrics and not the whole thing, not so much, not really, not yet. But let's see what else he's saying. But he wishes that like it was less like that's like a big part of the scene, especially the scene that he was in, because he wanted to be there for his kids longer, and his wife and his community, his band, and he wanted to be able to do that longer. And so, you know, it's kind of like a no regrets combination is what I'm hearing. But he really loves it. He has lived with complete, unabashed passion. He's like what comes to mind is the Lust for Life song by Iggy Pop. It kind of epitomizes that. More like the essence of the chorus, you know. I'm just going to ask if there's anything else he wants to share. So he's saying, don't waste your light. You know, like, don't waste your light shining it in places where you don't want to be, or it's not going to be like appreciated. I feel like that's a message for me from him, saying it is. But to anyone else that resonates with, he lived the way of shining his light only where he wanted to shine it and where it would be appreciated. He followed his passion, his joy. And so that's what he was all about. And so what he's saying is like, you know, again, like there's that a little bit of that regret, or he's like, I wish that I could have done it in a more sustainable way and trusted myself that I could be that creative and in that flow state, like the Pisces, with the all that is in the magic and in the flow state, where you're floating, where you're surfing, like where you're just like on the crest, riding the crest. Some of that I ad-libbed to what he was saying, but just that, but yeah, the way he lived was he shined his light in the places like where he truly wanted to be, and where he would be appreciated. And that's how he lived his life. That was like his philosophy. That was like his inner philosophy. He lived it. He didn't, I don't know. I don't get the feeling that he preached it, so to speak. He just lived it. So by example. Yeah, so don't waste your light and shine your light in places that aren't going to be able to receive your light or appreciate it or know it. Don't waste your light. Don't waste your life. Don't waste your life force. Go bring your light and shine your light in the places that resonate with your heart. Pulling your light through your heart and through, as corny as it sounds, just what brings you your greatest joy, your utmost joy. That's his big message. I think that's it for now.